John Monroe here, taking a walk through Ladywood on a cold morning. We have some ice on the canal, and I just wanted to have a look at some of the new mobility improvements we have in the neighborhood here. We have this new big set of housing, this big complex of housing going in, but across the canal we also have a new footbridge. I wanted to come and have a look at it. So of course the access is not available right now, which makes sense because the construction is not finished, but it looks like it's not going to be too much longer. And then people are going to have access, both everyone who lives in this new fairly dense housing complex is going to have access to the canal going this way, which leads in 10-15 minutes to the city center. So it's going to enable a very large number of people to be able to access the city center on foot, or on scooter, or by bicycle, etc. So it's a pretty big improvement. If everyone decides to ride their bike, though, it's not going to make much sense with the canals being so limited for cycling, and of course not really cycling infrastructure. But it's a pretty big step, and it's really nice to see. It went in really fast too. It took them like a week to build it. So that's one of the kind of new things that are going on in terms of new infrastructure for Ladywood. But there's some more stuff just as I pass under the bridge here at this nice junction of the canals. It's a beautiful morning. Just past that bridge down there, there's a path up to the road, and there's some really promising looking new improvements happening on the road up there as well. So I'm gonna walk up there and have a look at those as well. Okay, standing now, looking back at where I just was a minute ago, a little further along the canal here. I'm going to turn off up this little pathway here, heading towards the Edgebasin Reservoir, but not quite that far. Just up onto the road here, where it meets with Dudley Road, where the particular improvements are that I want to have a look at. So let's go and check those out. Okay, I'm now up on Northbrook Road, turning towards, looking now at Dudley Road, which is just down there. And this is the main area of improvement. I'm not going to go right down there because with the jackhammers it's going to be too loud. But that's the intersection of Northbrook and Dudley Road. And it looks like they're finally opening this whole section up to everyone by closing it off to cars. I think this is going to be, it looks like, remains to be seen, but it looks like this is going to be open public space, filtered hopefully for, I don't know what, cycling, walking, maybe a little skateboard ramp in here, hopscotch, whatever people are going to use this for, some tables. Hopefully that's the plan. That would be so nice to see. But what this has also done here, this bike lane here already existed, which I'll walk along it a little bit here. This bike lane, it doesn't connect up to a network, so it's not as well used as it might, but it does an incredible job of slowing down. This Northbrook Road was terrible for speeding drivers. And when people exit the canal, like my family does, twice a day, bringing the kids to school, this is a very dangerous crossing. So with the combination of the bike lane, but especially with drivers no longer able to cut through onto the busy Dudley Road down there, we're gonna have a very improved situation. And you can see the difference already. It's so nice and quiet by comparison. So we also have over here, it looks like some new improved cycling infrastructure and walking pathway that's going through here. This little pathway leads up to Barford Primary, and I'll walk up there to conclude this video, but it looks like a fair bit of stuff is happening here. There's some work. Looks like a driver's probably knocked over the barriers there, but there is some work happening to improve, it looks like, the quality of that corner there. And here's the path leading up to Barford Primary. We can have a look at this new bit of pathway they're putting in. And they also the word is is that the improvements are going to go further up, and in February during half term, the city council has plans to put in a proper pedestrian crossing, hopefully put in some speed bumps to prevent the speeding drivers outside of that primary school there, which is an ongoing problem. And also, I think a proper crossing on the road to mark the this cycling path here, and where it crosses on Barford Road in front of the primary school. So this is going to be further improvements. I mean, in Birmingham, given just the state that things have been allowed to deteriorate into around the lack of safety and kind of quality experience for pedestrians, because of the ways that automobility has come to be so dominant, there's always a lot to criticize and a lot to point out. But this really is the opposite of that. It really is a good example of some good work that's happening to make, particularly back there on Northbrook Road, when authorities have the courage to actually reallocate road space from cars to other forms, to all of the other forms of usage. That's really the best kind of move that can be made, and it's really thank you, City Council. Liz Clemens might have had a hand in that, one of the councillors who works particularly on this issue, in taking the kind of courageous step to do what's needed there. So this is a place where you can see there's a little drawing of a bicycle here on both sides of the road, and this is Barford Primary, and this is to indicate the crossing. So it's not much of a marker. So hopefully what they're going to put in here is something to more, I don't know, maybe some blue paint or something to more fully designate what's going on here, and that this is actually a junction between a road and a cycling lane and walking path. And that's going to be good news for Barford. Of course, it's the weekend, so the school is closed, but on weekdays, around 9 a.m. and around 3 p.m. this is a horrible place to be. Cars with idling engines, speeding drivers, packed cars everywhere. It's a real problem. The only solution is ultimately a school street, and hopefully we're working towards that as well. But for the time being, it's nice to see these improvements, and it's nice to be living in this neighborhood in Ladywood where some good infrastructure is being put in and is on the way. So things are looking up in Ladywood.